I do declare. Hey guys, it's me, Blair St. Clair, from season 10 of RuPaul's Drag Race. If you've ever wanted to see me get the official Blair look, well check this out and watch me go from this to this. What I think is really, really important starting out with your makeup is having really well moisturized skin. Because wearing makeup for so long periods of time, your makeup can get really cracky and crunchy, and what you want is a really, really nice solid base. So I've already started with moisturizing my face with a really thin layer of moisturizer and primer all over, after I've shaved, of course. Because you know you can't have that stubble, that crusty crust that you get right growing under here. And my first step that I'm gonna go in with is covering my eyebrows. So I like to cheat with my eyebrows because I basically have a pretty feminine shape with where I start my eyebrow, because I want my eyebrow drawn on to start where my real eyebrow actually grows. So basically, I want that line to kind of be taken this direction upward. So that means I really don't need this little piece of my eyebrow that I have here that I grow. I'm gonna start with my trusty glue stick, and I'm gonna go into my eyebrow hairs and really make sure that I kind of like dab this part of my eyebrow down with the glue. I'm working forward and backward with the hairs, really on the corner of my eyebrow that I want covered. As you can see, I'm only really kind of covering that outer edge right there. Take a spoolie or mascara wand and brush those hairs right down. I'm also gonna take my finger next to smooth it all out, to make sure that I have a really smooth surface for what I wanna cover. And then after I've smoothed that, I'm gonna add a little bit more glue just to smooth everything out and make it very seamless. Okay, so once I finish applying the glue to this area of my eyebrow, I'm going to wipe away the excess glue that's actually not touching or sitting on my eyebrow. I'm going to now set the glue where before it has completely dried, it's still kind of slightly tacky on my eyebrow, with powder. I'm using a really super white powder, so when I put that color down on top of my eyebrow, it's really, really gonna help cover all of the colors. And then I'm just gonna repeat on the opposite side. I am gonna take a brush and just kind of dust away some of the extra loose powder that's already on my face. And then I'm going to repeat that same process 1 to 2 more times, just until I get a really, really smooth surface area right here where the eyebrow is. I like starting with my eyebrows next and then cleaning up with my foundations second, so that way I can get the most perfect, snatched, defined brow, and I can go in with my foundations afterward to really clean up that eyebrow area. So I'm going to take an angled brush and have a brown cream, and I'm going to start drawing my eyebrow shape in this area. The way I like to draw my eyebrows is if I put my head downward, I want it to look like I have an eyebrow coming up like this and pointed straight down. So you can see I'm creating that line here, this line here, and then I'm going to replicate the same thing on the other side. I'm next going to draw in the top line of the eyebrow and connect it to the arch and really kind of shade that area in that I've kind of drawn on. Eyebrows are my least favorite part because I feel like I have to get them completely symmetrical even though they're never symmetrical, and I stress out the most over that. So I like to get it done first, get it out of the way. Before I do that and outline my eyebrows, I am going to fill in this little area right here that has nothing. This is just my eyebrow that's in the area. I'm going to take an eyeshadow brush and really kind of feather that into my real eyebrow. I want to create the nice ombre effect of my natural eyebrow with no makeup on it into this fake ending of the eyebrow that I've created. I'm next going to trace around the eyebrow with my foundations. Taking a cream white foundation, and I'm going to work right underneath the eyebrow and just really cleaning up and straightening up that line. I'm just going to outline that eyebrow on top to really make a nice clean line. Snatched eyebrow! Yes, we like her, we're into her, we love her. I'm actually just gonna set this white underneath my eye with a very super white, highly pigmented pressed eyeshadow. And I'm just doing this before I add in my other foundation colors. So now it's time to go in with my foundations. So I'm going to start with just taking my normal cream foundation stick. And as you can see, I already started to really go around and define my eyebrow with the same cream foundation. So I'm going to kind of continue onto my forehead area. Slather her on a little bit. And onto my face. As you can see, I covered quite a bit of the surface area of my face, but I didn't cover the entire thing in a lot of like just really thick makeup. This is a really thin layer over the majority of my face of where I need the most makeup on my face. Take that sponge and dab and sponge it all around my face. Bounce, 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 bounce. That's what I think every time. I'm going to take the same cream white that I use underneath my eyebrow, and I'm gonna use my finger and plop that on my cheekbones. I'm also gonna put that on my upper lip, right in my cupid's bow area, on the top of my chin. For a cute little dainty chin. If I'm looking down, I want it on the center of my forehead right here because this is the highlighted most front part of my forehead. And then on my nose. So my nose, I don't go all the way up to the bridge of my nose. I start about 3/4 of the way up. And I work it to the tip of my nose. Itty bitty tip, right there. So I'm wanting these areas to stand out the most and be the most prominent on my face. That's why I'm lightening this area with a lighter foundation. I'm gonna use this to blend out any of those lighter areas. I'm also gonna work that lightness, and I'm gonna work that highlight a little onto the edge of my nose right here. Ooh, this cheekbone, she's popping out. I am going to set my face now with a translucent powder all over my face. This is really gonna lock in and set in everything that I've already done with my makeup. So once I've started applying that translucent powder all over my face, I'm gonna take another brush and really dust away any extra powder that's just sitting there that I don't need. After I have built on my foundations and my highlights and I've set them, I want to build on my contours on my face. So I like to take my contour brush and my bronzing powder and really dab it in the areas that I want to hide in my face. So I want my cheekbones to pop, so I'm adding this darkness and this depth underneath the cheekbones. I'm just kind of applying it at first because I want to go back in and really smooth out and really blend out those areas. Really, really, really up here around my forehead. So I'm going to bring my contour up here and round it off in a C formation. As you can see, there's quite a bit of contour just like stacked on my face. I'm going to take a really large brush to kind of blend all that away. All the lines out and really to make it soft. I don't really need to add any extra shadowing around my jawline, so I actually don't contour underneath my jaw at all. But I am going to contour my nose. And I'm going to start near the tip of my nose and kind of work my way up into blending out the sides of contouring of my nose. After I finish the base of my highlights and contours, I am going to go in with my eyes. Today I'm going to do more of a simple, natural nude look, kind of a nude illusion, if you will, for my eyeshadow. I like to start with drawing the crease of my eye with an eyeliner pencil. So one of my big beauty secrets is starting with the crease of my eye and mapping that out with an eyeliner pencil. I like to think of it as if my eyes are downward and they're glaring and beating this way. Everything should be focused here and should blend outward. So when I lift my eye, I'll have a lot of like a highlight of space here. I'm just gonna draw the shape I want my crease to be today. Awesome, perfect, lovely. Next, I'm going to go in with my next part of my crease, and that's really, really defining that inner edge and that line that really breaks from my eye socket to the crease. Now you can really start to see where that dark crease comes in, right where it cuts off my eyelid. It has that depth right here. I want to cut away any extra color that might be on my lid, and I'm going to use a liquid lipstick on my lid in a nude shade. I'm gonna go back in with that white cream that I placed underneath my eyebrow bone and on my cheekbones. This just allows my eye to look a little bit more open, a little bit more doll-like. Now I have really little eyes, so I don't want my eyes to look way too dark. So I'm just adding a little bit of black on the outer corner of my eye and into my lid area. Now that the top part of my eye is finished, I'm gonna add a little bit of few details on the bottom part of my eye. I'm just gonna take my white eyeliner pencil and line my waterline. A very light beige color right underneath that white to define it. And then just a little bit of that black connecting on the outer half of my eyeball. So now that your eyes look open and doll-like and glorified, I'm gonna add just a little bit of a black liquid eyeliner on the top to top it off. After applying your eyeliner perfectly, which it never really is, I'm going to use massive coats of mascara all over my natural lashes. The next thing I like to do is warm up my face with a little bit of blush, especially on my cheeks. And of course, one of my next favorite parts of all my makeup is shimmer. What drag queen doesn't love glitter, doesn't love shimmer? I love shimmer! I'm applying the highlight all over the places that I highlighted with the cream. She's a woman. She is a woman! Ooh. Get into that fantasy. Next are my lips. I don't really overdraw my lips too much, mainly because that's why I went to the doctor and I got bigger lips. So after I've lined my lips, I'm gonna go in with my nude lipstick as well and fill in all the cracks. We're gonna gloss her up, make her shiny, make her glisten. I'm feeling it today. Right before I do my lashes, one of my last favorite little new tricks of mine is defining my cupid's bow with a little bit of a white liquid eyeliner. And all I have left is lashes. I snip off the very beginning and very end of my eyelash, so my eyelash is really concentrated on the middle part of my eye. My favorite eyelash glue is the brush-on kind of eyelash glue because it usually dries much quicker too. Ooh, she's a woman. Post-pubescent woman. So now that I've finished my makeup, I'm going to slip into my signature look just for you guys. So now that I've added my hair, my wardrobe, my jewelry, my nails, this is the final glow-up look. Thank you guys so much for all of your love and support and for watching me create this lovely tutorial for you. And make sure that you're checking me out on all my social media platforms, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, at Blair St. Clair. And make sure that you check out my new album on iTunes today. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Hey, squirrel friend! When one video ends, just open up another one. It's called binge viewing. Go ahead. I support you.